Good morning. This is Akanksha Shukla from Information Technology Department. Today I am going to discuss one of the important topic of web technology, and this topic is basically maybe useful for those students who are currently studying the Java language. So the topic is JavaScript, and I am going to discuss the important features or introduction about the JavaScript. So first of all, I will discuss about the main core features of JavaScript. So these are some features of JavaScript. The first one is lightweight scripting language. The JavaScript is basically a lightweight scripting language. One by one, I will explain these features in detail also. Second one is dynamic typing. The third one is object oriented, functional style, platform independent, prototype based, interpreted, asynchronization processing, client side validation, and more control over the browser. So the first feature, that is lightweight scripting language. It means that in JavaScript basically the JavaScript language is lightweight because the data which would be handled by the JavaScript is only at the browser side only. That's why the lightweight scripting language, this feature of JavaScript is more in a general purpose, because all the data handling process considered in JavaScript, it is only at the browser side only. That's why this feature is one of the core feature of JavaScript. The second feature of JavaScript is dynamic typing. It means that whatever the variables we are declaring in JavaScript, they generally consider their stored value, not their data types. Means suppose here in JavaScript, basically we use the keywords just like var, let. So these keywords are used to define the variables in JavaScript, not their data types. So the keywords are used to define the variables and their stored value. So they can be a numeric kind or they can be a string type. So that's why dynamic typing is also one of the important feature of JavaScript. Basically in this we don't define any data type for particular declaration. We only uses some keywords for the variable declaration. The third one is object oriented programming support. So just like Java supports the basic OOPS concepts, the JavaScript also focuses on the two OOPS concept. The first one is encapsulation and the second one is inheritance. So these two features of OOPS may be supported by JavaScript. So the first one is encapsulation, in which we use the object creation patterns, and the second one is inheritance, in which we use the code reuse patterns. So these two features of OOPS concept comes under the JavaScript features also. Basically these two features can be implemented by the JavaScript. The fourth one is functional style. So just like we create the functions in other languages, similarly in JavaScript also the functions which we create can also used as objects and can also used to further create the objects, or further more objects can be combined in that particular functions. So that's why this is known as functional style also. The next one is platform independent. So the JavaScript can be a you can say that it is a platform independent, or it can be portable. Means the code which we write in JavaScript can written once and can run anytime and anywhere also. The next one is prototype based. So in the this feature, the prototype based feature of JavaScript provides us the facility of flexibility, that in this we first define the prototype definition, and after that we can add on objects to that prototypes, and that objects can be further combined or add on to that particular behavior of the prototype based feature of JavaScript. The next one is interpreted language. So in JavaScript also we can have a line by line checking, just like interpreter will implement the things. Similarly, in JavaScript also we can check the line by line codes, and then we can run the programs. The next one is asynchronization processing. So in asynchronization processing means whenever a request whenever a JavaScript gets the request in parameters, then immediate it it doesn't waits for getting the response, it immediate sends the response, and this response sending process will run parallelly. Okay, so this kind of feature is known as asynchronization processing, means that they did not have to wait for the coming requested for or the next requests. They go on go on taking the requests from the client side, and they immediately perform the responses parallelly, not they have to wait for the next request also. The second last feature is client side validation. Basically this feature due to this feature only the JavaScript is known as the client side scripting language also. So whenever we open the browser, so whenever we are going to fill a form, then we can easily see that there are some validation controls over the client side and also on the server side. Checks, they are giving some checks, just like for example, if you are going to write the email ID, then if you miss to write it at the rate, then instantly we get an alert that we missed it. Or if we are going to write numeric data and by mistake we enter a character data, then immediately we get a alert something like that you have entered numeric data in spite of character data. So these kinds of controls are known as the validation controls. So JavaScript provides the client side validation controls only, not on the server side only. So that's why the JavaScript is also known as the client side scripting language, and it provides the client side validation only. And for that purpose only, this JavaScript scripting language have more control over the browser. So these some are the features of the JavaScript which I had discussed here. Now we will discuss some applications of the JavaScript also. So basically the JavaScript language is used to create the interactive websites, and mainly it is used for first which I had discussed immediately, that client side validation. It is used for client side validation. The second one is dynamic drop down menus. The third one, which is most frequently for which the JavaScript is used, the third one is for to display the date and time. The next one is for displaying the pop-up windows and for dialog boxes, for an alert boxes, okay, for confirmation, for prompt to dialog boxes. So different kinds of boxes which we are implementing over the websites, or whenever we are going to have an alert signals or dialog boxes, then here only JavaScript scripting language is used only. Second and the last but not it is not the last, but here in this list it is the last, that for displaying the clocks also. Just like for example, if you are going to create a website for auctioning website, in which you are going to auction the different kinds of suppose the different kinds of objects you are auctioning, then here you can have to implement a clock also. So for that particular purpose, for displaying the clocks, we can have a option of implementing the JavaScript language. Now here one is the example, JavaScript example. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to open the script tag. Just in the first line, script tag is open, and after that we have to write for just like in the different languages, we have different syntax to print whatever the document or whatever the line, whatever the textual data you want to print over the screen. So similarly in JavaScript, we have an option of document.write to print anything over the screen. So if you want to print hello JavaScript by JavaScript, suppose this is the text you want to present over the screen. So you have to, first of all, you have to write the document.write syntax. After that, within a bracket or within a inverted commas, you have to write the exact text which you want to present over the screen. After that, you have to close the script tag. So basically, the script tag specifies that what we are going to use in JavaScript. So that's why we are using this script tag in the JavaScript coding. The second one is the text oblique JavaScript is the content type which provides information to the browser that which type of data or which type of textual data you are going to present. So that's why we use we see in the forthcoming example that why we are using these syntaxes. So the text oblique JavaScript is displays the information to the browsers only about the particular data. And document.write, it is a function which is used to display the dynamic content through the help of JavaScript. So basically, this is the complete example. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to open the HTML tag, then head tag, then within the head tag you have to open the script tag, and in the script tag you have to write the script type, that is text oblique JavaScript, which provides the information to the browser about the data. After script tag, we have to use we have here in this example I had used the function. The name of the function is message. Okay, inside this message function we have an alert box, and in this alert we have a textual data which is hello Java T point. And after that, we close the script tag, and which is continually closed by the head tag also. After that, we open the body tag, and inside the body tag we have some tags. First one is a paragraph tag. In the paragraph tag, we had written the welcome to JavaScript, and after that we have also a form tag. In that form, we have only a single button which is a click button. The value of that button is click, just like similarly if we have a button and the value of the button is click. When we click on that button, the value of that button is click. So when we click on that button, then on click, when we click on that button, then on click event we had call the message function. So when we click on that button, then it will move forward to that function message, and it will display the alert box. It will display when we click on this button, then it will display, it will move forward to that alert box, and it will display the message hello Java T point. So this is the proper functioning of this code only. Now what is the JavaScript document? So document object model, basically it represents the whole HTML document, the document object model, and whenever we are going to load the HTML document over the browser, then whenever we are loading that particular document over the browser, it immediately becomes a document object model. So we can also say that it is the root element which represents the HTML document. The document object model is the root element which represents the HTML document, and it has both properties and methods. By the help of this document object, we can also add the dynamic content type to our web pages. Okay, so here the another example of JavaScript is given. In this we have a function. We have another function. The name of the function is print value. We have a keyword var which is used to declare the variables in the JavaScript. So var name is equal to document.form1.name.value. So anywhere in the document we have a form1. Inside that form1 we have some value of the name. So we are going to fetch that value from that form1 here. Okay. The next one is inside that function only we have an alert box which is displaying the name welcome plus that name which we are fetching from form1 also. After that we close the script tag. Now the form tag open and the name of the form is form1. Inside that form tag we have a name and a single button which when clicked immediately goes to the function print value, and then it prints the value of name. Okay. So inside the name we have a text box. Just like this, we have a text box. In this we enter some name also. Okay, and after that we have a button. When we click on the value of that button is print value. So when we click on that button, then immediately it moves forward to the function print value, and immediately it goes on to the next alert box, where we have a welcome and the name which we had written over that particular text box, just like ABCD. So it will immediately display the alert box which contains the value welcome ABCD. I am writing here also because here it is not showing properly. So whenever we click on that button print value, it will fetch to that alert box, and in which we can have a value welcome ABCD. This name ABCD is the same value which we write over the text box only. So in this example, we are going to take the value of that input text by the user, and we are using here document.form.1.name.value. This particular code we are using to get the value of the name field. Now the second method is you can also have fetch the value by using get element by id method also. Here we are using the form1.name.value method, and here we are using dot element by id method. So the document.get element by id method also returns the values, but it returns the element of the specified id only. So we had in the previous example, what we have used document.form1.name.value to get the value of that input value, but instead of this we can also have an option to use document.get element by id method to get the value of the input text, but we need to define id for the input field also. So in the previous example, here we have only provide the input type text and that name only. We had not given the id for that particular control, text control. We had not given a id name. So if you are using this method, then you have to provide the id also, just like in the given example, which I will tell step by step. So similarly, in the previous example, we had taken up one function print value. Here we had taken a function get cube, and then variable keyword is used. Inside this variable name is number, and we are using a function, we are using a method document.get element by id, and that id value is number, which I will discuss further later on. Dot value. Now the alert box will display the cube of a number. So here number, multiply number into number, and script tag will be used. Now in the form, main work is inside the form tag only. So here we are going to enter the number, input type is text. Inside the text box we are going to enter the number, or we are going to get entered a number by the user only. So inside this text we have a number. Okay, so input type control type is a text, and also we are providing here the id value. So the id is number, which we are using same id is using here also, then only it will match the id values and can properly implement the main objective of that method, get element by id. Okay, and the name is number. After that we have also a button value is cube. So on click, whenever we going to click on that particular button, on click it will get to the get cube function, and from here it will take the it will use the proper function of document.get element by id. id is number, so it will immediately take the number from here, and when we click on it will immediately take the number, and it print the cube of that particular number 3 cross 3 cross 3, 27 value will be as the output for this particular program. Okay. Now next method is document.getElement by tag name method. So this method returns all the element of the specified tag name, not of the specified ID name. It will returns all the values, all the elements of the specified tag name also. So the syntax for this is first of all, document.getElement by tag name, the name of the tag, then script type. A script type is text oblique JavaScript, which provides information about the data, and after that function count para is used, and var keyword is used. This is the variable name, or here we are using document.getElement by tag name method. The tag name is p. Okay. Now the tag name means that we are fetching the elements of that particular specified tag name. So for example, in this given example, we have 3 paragraph tags. We have 3 paragraphs. Simply it means that we have 3 paragraphs. First paragraph is this is a paragraph, and then immediately paragraph tag is closed. The second paragraph is here we are going to count total number of paragraphs by get the element by tag name method. Then correspondingly the paragraph tag is closed. The last paragraph says that let's see the simple example, and the paragraph tag is closed. Now after that there is a button whose on click event calls the count para function of this program. So what happens in this program? We have a button whose value is not given here. So by default it will have a value button or click. So whenever we click on that particular button, it will move to the alert window, and inside the alert window we have total p tags are total para dot length. Means what how many paragraphs are there in the program? We have 3 paragraphs, and this will get element by tag name method will calculate the paragraph total para length and display the information in this particular alert box only. So we have till now we have 3 methods. First one is document dot form one dot name dot value. The second one is we have also written the values or the elements by using dot get element by ID method, and also by get element by tag name method also. The second one is the next one is we have also the values or the elements of the specified name method also. Means just like ID name, just like tag name, we have also returns the values of the specified name also. So the document dot get element by name method, it returns all the elements of particular specified name which are provided inside the program. So syntax of that method is also given here. Here the function we use is total elements. The next variable name is all genders, and document dot get element by name is gender only. The name of the specified control is gender only, and inside the alert we have total genders, all genders dot length. After that, inside the form tag, what we have 2 values, male and female. These are the labels inside the form, male and female. So inside the male we have a radio button, and for female also radio button. Name is gender, and female also have a gender, and the values are just like gender, values are male and female. Okay, and after that we have also a button, value is total genders, and the on click event of that particular button fetch the total element function of the program. So whenever we click on that particular button, okay, the value of that button is total gender, then it will immediately move on to the alert window, and inside the alert window we have total genders which are in the given program. We have only 2 genders, so it will display the value 2 to that particular alert box. So by the name method we have also we have in this particular example we have counted the total number of genders using the specified name method in this program. Okay, so here we are using dot get element by name method to get all the genders in the given program. Okay, now we have seen in all the examples we have used the form name tag. So basically the form name tag is used to define the name of the form. This form name tag we had already discussed inside the HTML forms also, that why we use forms, what are the various controls we can use in the forms. So basically it is used to define the name of the forms, and then first for example we have different kinds of forms, different the name of the forms may have a different. So the name of the form here we are using is login form, and the name will be referenced in the JavaScript form also. So the action tag which we are using in the form, basically it defines the action, and the browser will take that particular by defining that tag, the browser will take to tackle the form where when it is to be submitted and where we have taken no action, or whether we have to take any action also. So the method to take action can be either post or get, which is used when the form is to be submitted to the server. Both the types of methods have their own properties and rules also, and have their own guidelines. The input tag which defines the types of the inputs which we want to create in our form. Here we have used the input type as text, which means we will input the values as text only in the text boxes. Next we have taken input type as password, and the input value will be password. Next we have input type as button, where on clicking we get the value of the form and then get displayed the referencing forms also. Now we have created the form element using HTML, but we also need to make its connectivity to the JavaScript. For this we use the get element by ID method that references the HTML form element to the JavaScript code. The syntax is as follows. The let is also a keyword which we use to declare the variables similar to the var, and here the form we are using which method? We are using the document.getElement by ID method only for referencing the HTML form element to the JavaScript code. So whatever I had told inside this text, this all the things will be displayed in, or will be immersed in this particular code only. So first of all we have opened the HTML tag, the next one is head tag, the next is title tag. So the title of this form is login form, and inside the body tag we have header tag, h3 header tag, which in which we are going to provide the value login, and then we have a form which have when we submit on that particular form, then it will display, or it will fetch towards the submit form function of the program. This one, the submit form function of this. So on clicking over that we move on to this part of the program only. Okay, and we have a input type text which is a placeholder just like this. Here we have to write enter your email ID. In this enter your email ID, you have to enter your email ID, and then you have a input type password. Here we have to write the password, and then we have a button. The value of the button is sign up. When we click on that particular button, then it will move on to the create function of the code. Okay, when we basically we have two values. Okay, we have two buttons, login and sign up. So when we click on the login button, then we move on to this part just given here, and when we click on the sign up button, then it will move on to this part. So in this particular program we have two text boxes. first one is the first text box have a placeholder in which we have to write your email ID. The second text box we have a placeholder in which you have to write a password, and we have two buttons, login and sign up. When we click on the login button, it will move towards the submit form function of the particular program, and when we click on the sign up button, then it will move on to the create function of the program. So when we write, first of all, what we have to do, the user have to write his or her email ID over this text box and then password to this text box. Then when he or she will click on that login button, then what happens? The alert window will be displayed, in which a message will be displayed that you have logged in successfully. Okay, and when a user will click on sign up button, then it will link the user to next page that is known as the signup.html. Means inside your system, inside your system, you have created some page that is signup.html, in which suppose for example you are signing in some user to the particular website, just like for purchasing something. Then you are then when the user will sign up, then it will take the some inputs from the user side. So particular this signup.html page will have some fields which needs to be filled by the users. For that particular task, we have created this page also. So we have two options. First one is login. If you have already registered or you have already used that particular website, then you will, when you click on the login button, then you have an alert box that you have logged in successfully. And whenever you click on the sign up button, then you have to fill some fields which need to be fulfilled or which need to be filled by this particular page only. So the main task of this form is only this. Okay, so this is a example of login form with the use of the get element by ID method of JavaScript. So there are many things still left to discuss about the JavaScript, but for this particular lecture, the things which I had discussed in this particular lectures are mainly the features of the JavaScript, and the four methods which I had discussed in this particular lecture are .get element. First of all, document.form1.name.value. The second one is document.get element by ID method, the document.get element by tag name method, and document.get element by name method also. And finally, at last, I had discussed one example of login form by the use of login.get element by ID also. So that's all for today. Thank you.